FL Studio 2026 is finally here, so let's go through what's new and show you guys what you're actually going to be using in real time and not just the updates. So here in the new FL Studio 2026, we have a new Flex. Flex is basically, think of it like Labs, but for image line. They give you some free sounds, but you could also buy sounds right inside the store tab. I think that's really useful. Think of it like Fortnite, but for sounds. Then we have this new cloud ability. This is interesting for the subscription side of FL Studio, not really the user base, but more so for the business side. You can now save your projects in the cloud. If you guys are used to always switching computers and you need more space and you're just running out of space, I, for myself, can easily work up a 50 gig project folder pretty quickly, making tutorials in a matter of 3 months. So imagine that, over the entire year, you guys add up a lot of space. So it looks like they're offering a cloud service to where you can now save your projects up to the cloud and not worry about backing them up on Google Drive and constantly going back and forth to download files to your other computers, especially if you guys are on PC. That could save a lot of time. Okay. And it says here they have a new loop starter, NFL Cloud role with more sounds. Okay, so I don't use loop starter. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The new plugin transmitter. I tried to find the sweet spot for this plugin. I haven't figured it out just yet. And now the new interesting one, which is their AI tool called Gopher. Now I was very critical about the first Gopher because it seemed redundant and it seemed out of date because it was simply a chatbot, an LLM. But now it's agentic. So now Gopher can actually go inside of FL Studio and do stuff on your behalf. According to Larry O's video, it's a little limited. So I don't expect this thing to just do everything for us, but that's very useful and more forward thinking for FL Studio. I think this is stepping in the right direction. Nextly, they have chord detection. This is a very utility type thing where you're playing chords on your keyboard. You don't know what it is. So now it will label the chord for you. In my opinion, this could be way more advanced. I'm not sure why it's that basic for a company this large. And lastly, we have more workflow improvements. You can remix a song. I guess if you have audio, you can right click and remix. It says LuxVerb with new feed forward mode and 100 new presets, chord stamp tool with bottom up voice leading modes. I guess you could change the voicing of the chords. You can label piano roll notes. This is going to be interesting for just teachers. Audio clip gain controls and audio logger. Now, a lot of these are utility things, not huge updates. So the main update here is the Flex VST, and I would say the cloud is probably the next biggest thing for this new update. Actually, no, what am I saying? Gopher is definitely the next one, but we don't know its potential yet. So that's a question mark, but this is definitely number 1 and 1A and 1B. So let's get into FL Studio 2026 and see what the sounds sound like. Here's the new version of Flex. So off the, default sound, you get a very cool pad. What I recommend you guys do is go to the store tab and download these core libraries. These are the best ones, in my opinion, that I've heard as far as the free sounds. And I'm not sure about all the paid ones. So let's go to where it says library. Let's go to find those core libraries. And I don't see, we have to re-download those because we're on a new FL version. So I'm going to re-download these guys. So it's pretty simple. You just click the download button. It downloads pretty fast, actually. So I thought this would take a bit. Now, the two libraries that I recommend you guys focus on are the pianos and the brass. If you guys are into trap and hip hop, guitar is cool, but the other libraries don't really have standout sounds. I'm being honest with you guys. We already did a sound test for those, and they just don't have standout sounds. I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying there's nothing that really just stands out. I don't know how else to say it. Okay, let's go to library and let's go to piano. I'm gonna play one of my favorites called the Rhodes Sparkle. Now, the sounds are a little quiet, so you got to get used to just cranking this up a little bit. All right, I'm going to mute my mic so you guys don't hear the background noise. All right, so really nice sound. It gives more authentic Rhodes vibes. Now, is it a full Rhodes? Not necessarily, but it's giving more authentic towards a Rhodes sound. Then we have these 80 sounds. Again, you guys will have to crank these sounds, so go into your settings and get used to turning up the volume. Now, for some reason, some of these sounds are just really quiet. Like, I don't hear the level adjustment here. So let's just move to a different patch. Here's a grand piano. Now, most of the grand pianos in this library, they sound similar, so you're not going to get a huge difference in sound. That's why I marked some of these with stars. Another standout library they have is the core brass. Now, the core brass, this is going to be good for trap and hip hop. All right, so you have epic kind of hits. Now, again, is this going to be the full-on film score go-to library? Not necessarily, but at least they're moving in the right direction. And again, the fact that FL Studio is even still free for lifetime people, free updates, is kind of insane if you think about it. All right, so let's go here. All right, so pretty cool sounds in there. Nothing really stand out outside of those sounds in my ear. A lot of sustained, kind of blurry sounds. Okay, so you can do cool stuff like that. Now the core bass has a couple sounds actually. I forgot we marked these. So that gives Neptunes right there, that sound there. This one gives very Dr. Dre, so let's play. So really interesting direction. Again, FL's going in. All right, so really good for a pop and funk. I forgot the bass had pretty usable sounds actually. But I will say these are more dated basses. These aren't like modern soul basses necessarily. These are more for like funk and pop type. Definitely like more 90s basses in there. Core guitar, here's some Now you can go into the edit tab and turn on effects. I usually don't mess with these, but this is just because I just know too much about sound design. So it's not that you guys shouldn't, it's just I'm too used to their other effects. But if you want quick effects, you can play right inside of those. All right, so just, basic sounds there. Now, a lot of these I would stylize, like with chorus, for example, and a little pitch bend. So I say this one you got to know how to play to make it sound more realistic. I'm using what's called pitch bend. Notice the pitch wheel moving. So you can get a pretty cool sound out of that if you know how to play it. So here we're in that 2000s bag with the Neptunes. So you can play minor chords. All right, so you guys get the gist there. And then lastly, another muted guitar. So again, more pop funk type stuff there. The other libraries, again, are cool. They don't have any standout sounds. I've already gone through the sounds. You guys can spend more time to go through these, but nothing really jumps out though. All right, and again, as you guys can feel, like I'm not super pumped about a lot of these sounds. I'm not here critiquing the sounds, however. So those are the core libraries, and again, you guys can explore. So that's a huge part of the new FL Studio, is to simply flex. Now we need to find Gopher. Now Gopher is not the easiest thing to find, so let me see if I can find it myself. So to access Gopher, we have to go to where it says View, go to the Downloads tab, and it opens up this little panel to the right. Let's go to where it says Gopher. Now it's asking me questions which I can't read from here. It says, what happens? You've requested a page on a website, Gopher. Looks like this might be down. Okay, we have an error, 1033. Error 1017. All right, it says, what happened? You've requested a page on a website, Cloudflare Network. Okay, let's see what the question is. Was this helpful? No. All right, so I don't know if this works yet, at least not on my end. This isn't showing that it works. So maybe it's a glitch, but it's definitely not doing anything right now. So maybe they're working on it or forgot to do some kind of key thing on Cloudflare's end. So I'm not sure what's happening there, guys. But I would love to show you. It's just an error. Okay. So we'll do that in future videos. So my thoughts on FL Studio, I think to get this many free updates for life, we've been on FL since version like 7 or something crazy. So the fact that they're on version 2026. Now, a lot of people don't know this. You can actually buy the plugins separately. So if you Google FL Studio plugin store, they have a store where you can buy the plugins. This is what I recommend you guys do. So if you're just jumping into FL, I recommend you guys, let's see where the pricing is. How do you buy FL? We got to find the buy page. Give me a second, guys. Okay, so there's, I think because I'm logged in, it's not showing me the same page, so hold on. All right, so when you're logged out at imageline.com, you're gonna go to Buy FL Studio, and there's different versions. So they say the producer version, this one was highlighted, now they say the signature version, they must have updated the website or something recently, because this was not like this a second ago. And then it says all plugins. So most people think, that you only have one shot to get all the plugins. It's not the case. So I'd recommend you guys start with the Producer Edition, learn your way around FL Studio. It comes with a lot of stuff right off the bat. And then find the plugins that you find yourself using more and more and more of in the demo versions, and then go to the plugin store and just buy those plugins over time. So yeah, maybe the total is more than the grand price of whatever it is, $450, but because you're being more selective about the plugins that you want, I think you guys will have a better experience. Now, we never would have thought most of these plugins would be used for underground beats. Who would have thought Toxic Biohazard would make a resurgence, and Sakura and Poison and stuff like this? We never thought that that would come back, but it made a major comeback with underground beats. So gross beats more popular than ever. Flex is becoming more popular. So certain plugins you just would have never guessed. So instead of just buying everything now and hoping that you're going to use it, I'd recommend you guys just get that Producer Edition and upgrade, a plugin after another over time, because then you want to buy based on your usage, what you actually use. All right, without further ado, guys, maybe in the next video we'll make a beat in FL Studio. Thank you guys for watching. Go download FL Studio 2026. I have free starter guides free right on this channel in terms of FL Studio. All right, guys, I'll be making more FL videos. It's Game from BusyWorksBeats.com. Peace out, guys.